All right, welcome into the Week 6 edition of Better in Laws. I'm Tuck Silva, joined alongside Matt Prisco. Matt, how the hell are you?
Doing well, buddy. How are you?
Good. We are broadcasting from a different location, as you can see this week.
Yep.
We are at Guy's Tequila Cocina by the TD Garden, otherwise known as Heaven. So I'm happy to be broadcasting from Heaven today because the tequila is speaking strongly to me at the moment. I'm a big tequila guy, and I'm already salivating at everything behind me right now. I just want to sample all the tequila.
Yeah.
And I might.
You might.
Yeah.
You should. You deserve it.
So we're here temporarily, just a 1 week thing, as we have a new studio that we'll be moving into for Big Night Media, which we are very excited about. And there's construction ongoing. So until that, we will be broadcasting here from Guys. So here we go. Real quick, let's recap week 5 because I'm on an absolute heater right now.
Heater for you, 4-1, buddy.
Give me the stats. What are we looking at?
You were 4-1 last week, improving your record to 14-10-1 overall. But the one loser continues to be that best bet with the Green Bay Packers on Monday night. Aaron Jones, sack up.
So in my defense, I will say that I made my best bet pick. Now, it's no excuses here on the podcast.
No excuses.
But just a note, I thought that Aaron Jones was trending towards playing when we recorded last Wednesday. He did not.
Yeah, crazy that he didn't play, actually. Green Bay was one of my losses. I went 3-2 just to keep the recap going.
We had double likes last week.
Yep, we'll hit one of them. Yep. Did not hit the Green Bay one, so 1-1 on the double likes. I went 3-2 overall, got my record up to 12-13, a little closer to 500. We're going to catch 500 and pass it this week, Tuck, but did hit another best bet with the Niners. That was easy. 4-1 for me on best bets. So that's at least going well. So a pretty good week for us at 7-3 overall.
Nice.
Thought we were going to get the 5-0, 4-1 / but Green Bay kind of buried us.
Yeah, Monday Night Football. I thought it was going to go perfect, but Jordan Love just absolutely crapped his pants against a shit Raiders team, which we'll talk about later with their matchup in the Patriots. So not bad. Good bounce back for you, but we're going to move on to week 6 here. We are recording a day later with this whole studio transition here. Yep. So we are recording Thursday afternoon. Yep. We will not be even speaking of the disaster between the Chiefs and Broncos tonight. We're not even going to talk about it.
Not going to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about the Chiefs smashing the Broncos.
They're not going to talk about that.
No bets on that.
I say Pacheco anytime touchdown.
Maybe 2 touchdowns.
Maybe 2.
All right, so let's just move ahead to Sunday here. We have the final London game of the year, thank God. However, it's not the final 9:30 game because we have the Germany games upcoming for the NFL. But nonetheless, the final matchup in London between the Ravens and Titans. We are seeing the Ravens as 4-point favorites here. Over-under is 41.5. What are you looking at here for this matchup?
I'm going to start the show with the best bet. We're going to London for a best bet, and it's on the Baltimore Ravens -4. See,
all right.
Tuck, I love this spot here. The Ravens coming off a tough loss against Pittsburgh in a game that they should have won, but didn't.
Just another matchup with the Ravens and Steelers just not scoring many points at all.
Exactly. You had that nice under.
Yeah.
Good win there for you. Look, favorites in the UK games, overseas, anything you want to call it, favorites of a field goal or more are 20-12 ATS. 24-7-1 straight up
against the spread.
Yep, ATS against the spread. So that's 20-12 against the spread. Ravens are a far superior team in my mind, and the line really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think they're dropped down here. I make the game 6, so give me 2 points of value here with a better team. I still think Vegas is giving Tennessee so much love. Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but they're still, we talk about this week in and week out, they're an aging offense. They're a tough watch. Tennessee got the passing game going a little bit last week against Indy. You can do that against Indy.
Yeah,
Hopkins you don't do that. Yeah, you don't do that against the Ravens. Right now, the Ravens are 3rd in the league against the pass, allowing 175 yards per game. But they're also 7th in the league against the run with just 91 yards a game. So I really don't expect anything from Tennessee on offense. On the flip side, the Ravens, we have them coming in. Lamar Jackson getting a little heat that he's not playing so well. Watch the games. I went back and watched.
He looks good. He looks legit.
Back and watched the Ravens-Steelers games. I can't tell you how many passes the Ravens dropped in that game. So I expect them to clean that up. an advantage for the Ravens, too. They went out on Tuesday to London. And Tennessee's flying out. They're taking the red eye tonight, Thursday night.
They're screwed.
And I don't like that play for Tennessee. I like the Ravens getting there a little bit early, adjusting, ready to win, coming off a loss. You know, Ravens coming off a loss in general usually know what to do. Hammer it. I think the Ravens win by a touchdown at least.
You would think after all these years with the NFL in London that these teams would figure out their travel schedules. Like, did you hear the whole thing about Josh Allen last week?
Yeah.
How the Bills fell to the Jaguars. He was like, he stayed up on the flight the whole time.
It's crazy.
He was like inhaling coffee, and he was just like, dude, just... A, why are you not flying out earlier?
Yeah,
and B,
I mean,
like, it's only 5 hours. Like, make it work.
It's not that hard. It's like going East Coast to West Coast to East Coast. Like, it's not that
These are
difficult.
like paid positions in the NFL, like sleep doctors or whatever. So
figure it out.
I don't know, just figure it out. But I will note that the Ravens have gone under in 15 of their last 19 games, and the Titans have gone under in 8 of their last 9 games. No plays from me on this one, but of course I would lean the under on this one with 41.5. But no plays for me, but you have your first Ravens -4. What about 4.5? Oh, is your best bet?
Best bet.
Wow, right out of the shoot. Okay.
Ravens best
what
bet
about
right out of the
4.5?
shoot.
Do you like that or stay away?
You know, you can get 4s out there widely available.
Okay.
It was at 3.5. It's gone up a little bit. I still like them a touchdown. I made the game 6.
Yeah.
That said, get the best number you can. 4.5 is fine for me, but 4 is a key number in the NFL, so if you can get the 4, it's better.
Oh, I like it. And keep an eye out for the Titans, by the way, with Tajay Spears getting more snaps last week than
there's
Henry.
a positive.
They got to figure something out there on that offense.
He's a positive for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So just keep an eye on that situation. All right, well, we got a best bet right out of the gate here. Let's move ahead to the 1 o'clock slate. We have your San Francisco 49ers, who are probably one of the best teams I've seen. I know it's early, but they look like one of the best teams I've seen. 8-point favorites on the road in Cleveland. Point total here, surprisingly low, 37.5. Figure that's going to be between the two top defenses here. Cleveland has a solid defense, but we don't know the status of Deshaun Watson. There was a rumor, I think it was Tuesday, that came out that P.J. Walker would get the start if Watson was not able to go. What's the latest on that situation?
Yeah, it's still looking that way. It's trending that way. Nothing positive about Watson. It's kind of interesting coming out of a bye week for Watson with a shoulder bruise that he can't get out there and play. I don't necessarily think he wants to play.
Yeah, that's
this
a weird
game.
Situation going on there.
Yeah, I don't like it. And the total 37, I know we talked a little bit about this beforehand.
Yeah.
A little weather, mostly wind. Not so much rain anymore in the forecast, at least as of today. Things been changing a little bit, but more so like when you're looking at totals, I think wind is more of a factor than rain in general, just because these guys can play it in rain.
So you keep bringing up this weather, and you brought it up in our text exchange, but when I looked earlier,
54, we had 54.
Cleveland was, we're going to do a little Doppler check here. Hold on, stand by for the Doppler. We have, come on.
Well, it's in Salem, New Hampshire. It's 66
21st century
on Sunday, so that's good news.
So it's looking like we have cloudy and 55 degrees in Cleveland on Sunday. No rain.
What's the wind, though?
On Saturday.
What's the wind?
What kind of wind are we looking at here?
I was seeing 20-mile-an-hour winds, which that's the difference, right? It's not as easy to throw the ball.
Okay, so either way, it's going to be windy. I don't think there's going to be any rain. I think you're overplaying that. But yeah, wind is a factor, especially with a quarterback like P.J. Walker potentially taking the helm there. Even if it was Deshaun Watson starting, he's looked like shit this year. So that's going to be a factor too. So I hit the Niners earlier this week at 5.5. It's all the way up to 8 on this news. That's too many points for you, for the sounds of it.
Yeah, I just don't like laying big chalk on the road, even, especially coming off. Like, let's not overreact. They absolutely buried Dallas. Made me a very happy 49ers fan. But to be honest, let's pump the brakes. Cleveland's still a good defensive team.
Coming off a bye week.
The one thing, it's still lean to the Niners. I'm not stepping in front of them right now either. Did that earlier in the year, and it wasn't a good idea. The Browns run cover 1. They've run it 62% of the time this year.
Okay.
Dallas runs cover 1 63% of the time. So I hope they don't think that they're going to go in and run cover 1 against that defense, against the Niners offense, because right now it's not a good idea.
Let's see if the coaching for Cleveland picks up on that.
Yeah.
That's a great detail.
Yeah.
49ers, they're 13-3 against the spread in their last 16 games, 11 of which have been by double digits.
Yeah.
So it kind of speaks to, hey, they can cover 8 here easily.
Yeah. They've been as hot as anyone.
No plays for me in this one. But I would probably lean towards the Niners just continuing to roll there. Panthers. Panthers.
Gross.
0-5 Panthers going on the road in Miami. Miami favored by 13.5. You have a point total of 47.5 here. I have my first it's square as all hell. Give me the Dolphins 13.5. I mean, what are we doing here? This could be a 17-point cover for the Dolphins here. I mean, the Panthers look completely lost. And there was a report out earlier today that the Panthers were going to simplify their offense or attempt to simplify their offense for Bryce Young. Yeah, so here it is. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reports the Panthers plan to simplify things with Bryce Young. I mean, why didn't they just do that?
I want to do that from the
start. It's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's not much of an offense at all besides Adam Thielen, 34-year-old Adam Thielen, who's on pace for 120 catches this year. So now they're going to go on the road to the Dolphins and simplify their offense. Let's see how that's going to go.
Good luck.
Dolphins, they are 16-5-2 against the spread in their last 23 games as a home favorite. They're 6-2 with McDaniel at the helm against the spread, covering both instances as a double-digit favorite. On top of that, Panthers, they're heading into a bye. And did you catch Frank Reich's comments this week?
No.
Okay, so look it up on Twitter because he was up at the podium, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was pretty much dropping heavy hints that their owner, and who's their owner? I forget. But either way, was a strong influence behind picking Bryce Young as the quarterback. So seems like
feels like he's defending it a little bit.
The GM and the coach don't have full control of their team. And you have a meddling owner, it seems like. So look up that video if you get a chance. I thought it was very interesting. So that's going to be resonating in a negative tone in the locker room, I think. Mm-hmm. And as for the Dolphins, I don't care if Devon Achane is hurt on this one. He's going to be missing multiple weeks. Stud rookie running back for the Dolphins there. All indications are that Jeff Wilson, former 49er, will be making his return off the IR. He was a limited participant in practice this week, not officially, I guess, tasked with coming back off the IR.
Yep.
But I think he's going to play between he and Mostert. They're going to be fine. It's
fine.
the Panthers. They're going to be completely fine.
Yep.
Even if Wilson wasn't activated, they're going to move the ball handily against this Panthers team.
Yeah.
Give me 13.5. Oh, I'm sorry. Best bet.
There you go.
Best bet. I should have probably led off with that.
There you go.
I'm going to
bet.
keep it easy with my best bet here.
Love
13.5. I don't know what's going on in the background. It sounds like a plane's about to take off.
It might be the air, AC.
That is some heavy.
There we go. Back. They're
just trying out the blowers there.
Somebody's a Carolina fan in the back. Doesn't want your best bet hitting.
I think Hurley was trying to help me out with last week because I was sweating my balls off.
Yeah, now it's freezing in here. I love this.
Now it's ice cold in here.
Love that.
And we're blasting the AC or whatever.
Love it.
All right, so 13.5 best bet. We have two best bets out of the gate.
Yeah, nice.
Dolphins 13.5.
Yeah, I got nothing to add there. This no play for me, but I lean the Dolphins very heavily. You said everything.
All right, Colts on the road in Jacksonville. They will be leading with Gardner Minshew. They're in a revenge matchup against his former team, mind you.
Sure is.
The Jaguars are 4-point favorites coming back off their...
The fans are standing for us. They love the standing ovation.
It's just hilarious.
Loving it.
All right, so Jaguars are 4-point favorites here. The fan just shuts off real quick.
Oh, I love it.
All right, 4-point favorites for the Jaguars off their big win. Really big win. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Against the Bills last week in London. 44.5 point total here. What are your thoughts on this one? Because I do have a play.
I have a play as well, and it's on the Colts plus 4.5 at FanDuel right now. Double like. 4.5 FanDuel right now. Take it. That's 4 is a key number, and I really like this one, Chuck. Jags, you're spending 2 weeks in London, right? No one's done that yet.
No,
well, you get
to
come home.
Readjust to the
now you come back home to the States. Got comfortable against the Bills.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Now you come back. You come home. You get the Colts coming to town. But oh wait, you're playing on Thursday Night Football too. So this is an interesting spot. Okay, the Colts division game always play them tough. Usually split. The Jags get the best of them in week 1. like you said, I like the fact that it's Gardner Minshew that's going to be the quarterback in this one. He gets his little revenge spot against the team that he made Gardner Minshew mania.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the Jags right now, 5.7 yards per play allowed on defense.
Yeah.
The Colts and Minshew could take advantage of that. Neither team is good against the pass, so I think that slight lean to the over here as well. With Minshew at quarterback, they're 27th and 28th, both at 262 yards per game, allowing it on defense for the pass. I just think that the Colts have a strong chance to actually win this game. So if you're giving me 4.5 points, I'm taking the 4.5. It's a complete spot play for me.
The Colts are coming off a big divisional win last week when they were home dogs versus the Titans last week. I think that's right. I mean,
one of my wins,
and that was telling too.
Yeah.
With Anthony Richardson hurt so early, they still managed to eke out a win
Jonathan
there.
Taylor back. Get him mixed in a little bit more. Zach Moss has played well. I don't care who's playing right back. I think they'll give him.
Yeah, they can run the ball.
Mix him. They'll move the ball in this Jags D.
Seems like they have a solid offensive line there. So I would expect almost bet on Jonathan Taylor getting way more involved.
All right.
Even though Zach Moss has been really solid for that Colts backfield. Also worth noting that the Jaguars are 2-8 straight up, and they're 1-0 against the spread in their last 10 games as a home favorite, excluding London.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that you really made the point already that there's going to be some sort of a travel/victory hangover for the Jaguars off their big win against Buffalo. So yeah, I could easily see Jags dropping this at home. And kind of splitting the divisional series or season series between these two teams. Because Jags won in Indianapolis.
They won in Indy, yep.
I could totally see this being a split here.
Yep.
But Colts +4, give me that all day.
Take your 4.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, okay. If you can get it there, by all means. But yeah, again, would not surprise me if the Colts won this matchup. Let's move ahead to the, what do we have here? Vikings. The very questionable direction of the Vikings team going on the road in Chicago. And Chicago and Justin Fields look like a completely different team now. Yes, they ran the same play over and over against the Commanders with DJ Moore. Couldn't stop it. It's like, the nerds on Madden Online just running the same play.
That's exactly what it was.
Strong toss
exactly
left,
what I
strong
thought.
Toss right.
Yeah. He's the only receiver to catch a pass. He's the only receiver to catch a ball for the Bears.
Yeah. He should have 40 touchdowns. He should have 4 touchdowns there.
I know.
And then the ref just called him out of bounds when he was not at all.
Liar.
So the Bears are 2.5-point dogs here, home dogs, I might add. 43.5-point total. I think that has come down a little bit here. I thought I saw 44.5 earlier. I do have a note on this matchup. The Bears, they have gone over in every game so far this season. And the Bears, they have in all the games that they played, they have a combined score of 54.4. Vikings, they have allowed 27 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games. So that is definitely noteworthy there. No plays for me in this one. I would lean the over even without Justin Jefferson for the Vikings offense. But I mentioned the direction of that franchise because Kirk Cousins is on a 1-year deal. There was something about him waiving his, he was asked about waiving his no trade clause at a press conference today. Yep. So that's circling through the locker room right now. So you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on with the direction of this franchise. Wouldn't shock me if the Bears extended their winning streak here. Yeah, I have a lean to Minnesota's side. I just want to sing. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but this is great. This is great. Loving this. I think the reason for the over dropping is weather. You can look that one up too, Doppler guy. But no. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. It's like for the Vikings. Should we sway? Should we sway? This is beautiful. Beautiful. Listen, I have one question about this game. Yeah. See, we needed that. We needed that. Hurley, I think Hurley went to tell him to turn it down. And
was that too loud?
Was it too loud?
I liked it.
I was loving it. I lean Minnesota here. I don't know who we think the Bears are after one game. They won their first game in like 3 years, it feels like. And now all of a sudden, like, I get that Justin Jefferson's out, but I don't know. I feel like the Vikings still have so much talent. I'm not betting the game, but I do lean that way under 3. Once it gets under 3, that's interesting to me. The weather's going to be gross.
Is it?
Yeah, that one is. I didn't check the Doppler as of today. I did it yesterday. That's why the over's coming down, though. The Bears are a dead not over team. So they're not. That's not coming down. Like it opened 48.5. So that's not coming down from 48.5. Yeah. So this is really driving down. So
okay.
No play.
Yeah, no plays for me on that one either.
Cool.
Let's see here. We have the Seahawks coming off a bye week. This very solid Seahawks team, I might add, going on the road to Cincinnati ahead of their bye week. And Cincinnati, pivotal win last week on the road in Arizona. A lot of questions around Joe Burrow there and his calf. They answered the call. Jamar Chase, an absolute
he was
beast
back,
of a game.
Holy.
Burrow looked legit. And that was without T. Higgins, by the way. I understand it's the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have been playing teams very tough this year. So we have the Bengals home favorites, 3 points here, 44.5. Any plays for you in this matchup?
Sure is. Give me the Bengals -2.5 at MGM right now. Look, last week.
Just real quick before you go on, this was very close to a like for me on the Bengals.
Yeah.
Very close.
I'll give you the handicap from me. Last week, look ahead. Bengals -2.5. So we start off with what's changed. What made it get to 3 in some spots, still 2.5.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing is Seattle, they had a bye week. No change, makes sense. Cincinnati, though, you can't tell me that last week, the version of Joe Burrow that you thought going into that game is what we were going to see this week. No way. What I saw Joe Burrow doing in that game against the Cardinals, that was the most important thing besides getting the ball to Jamar Chase, was scrambling. So I'm running for first downs, which I didn't think he was in. He was not that I don't think he could. He was incapable of doing the previous few weeks. He was getting the ball downfield. Like you said, they did it without T. Higgins. Got the ball to their best player in Chase and let him take over. And that's what was missing from the Cincinnati offense. And oh, by the way, that's what was missing is the entire reason the Bengals have turned their entire franchise around is Joe Burrow. He means that much to them. A limited Joe Burrow is, the line just hasn't moved. And a little bit, even a half point is just not enough. The Bengals are a better team at home. I love the fact that DK Metcalf opened his mouth today.
What did he say?
And he said that the rookie cornerback, Devon Witherspoon's going to shut down Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase with a little repost of that on social media. I love when you irk these guys. Just so dumb. No need to do it. Oh,
just keep your
DK
mouth
Metcalf
shut.
saying that from the sidelines because he's not practicing with his injured rib. So we'll see about him. I think he'll play, but I won't even expect Higgins to play because since he's on a bye next week, I think they give him the extra rest, even though he's trying to go. We'll see if it happens. The Irwin kid, though, he's got a nice little connection with Joe Burrow from a props perspective. I look to play his overs. I think he's made a nice little connection with him. I think he's kind of taken over for Tyler Boyd for those roles.
Irwin actually saw more targets than Boyd last week, correct? Yeah.
So I'm starting to like Irwin kind of establishing a role with that team. So even if Higgins doesn't play, still like this. Of course, we get Higgins back. I love this play. This was close to my best bet. I just can't understand the line not moving more when we saw Joe Burrow look healthy.
That's the thing that I kind of had a hesitation on. Is just like we all saw what the Bengals did last week. Why isn't the line moved at all?
I think partially it's Arizona, right? And Seattle's a better team. They're coming off a bye. So from a spot perspective, it's not the worst. I still think Seattle's a little bit overrated. I think you're seeing Seattle's statistics,
legit, though,
but against
far.
Daniel Jones, sure. Let's go see it against a healthier Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. The jungle's a tough place to play, and they get that 1:00 start. Not that it's that trend isn't as crazy as it was before with the West Coast teams coming east, but it's still an earlier start for the Seahawks. Let's see it. I'll be very impressed with Seattle if they can win this game, even cover this game. I don't think it's going to happen. I like Cincy here. Give me the -2.5.
It's a strong lean for me there. I don't know if this matters, but the Seahawks in their last 17 road games in October, they're 13-4 against the spread. Again, I don't know if that matters at all.
I mean, when you're looking at trends, I did see that trend, and I was like, but a lot of that was with Russ when Russ was in his prime, connecting with Lockett.
Yep.
Geno Smith's fine, but I don't know. I still think that whole team's a little bit overrated. We'll see. We'll see Sunday, but I'm putting my money with Cincinnati.
Washington, mess of an offense right now. Going on the road in Atlanta. Atlanta, 2.5-point favorites on this one. On DraftKings, I am seeing a 42-point total here. I have a play, and I think you know what it is.
Okay.
Under 42
All right.
and a half.
Okay, let's hear it.
It is 42. I would still be comfortable with that. I'm not sure what FanDuel has, if you want to look that up for me.
I just saw this.
But 2 hours ago, 42 and a half was my play. I'm still fine with 42. The Falcons, they have gone under in 9 of their last 11 games, over which they have averaged a combined score in their games of 36 points. And overall, the Falcons, they are averaging 16.6 points per game. And we all remember what the Commanders put out last week on Thursday Night Football with the Bears, as we mentioned. Completely embarrassing loss against that Bears team. Yes, I know the Bears are trying to, or figuring stuff out on offense, but still, you got to put up some sort of points there.
Yeah.
Complete embarrassment. And it seems like this might be a running attack game on both sides of the ball. We all know that the Falcons offense is driven behind their running game with Bijan Robinson. Tyler Algier is getting heavily involved.
Yep.
Nice to see Kyle Pitts kind of bounce back there. But, Desmond Ridder, I know he had probably his best game last week in his NFL career with over 300 passing yards. But this just seems like a low-scoring, just pound the run game with Brian Robinson, Bijan Robinson on both sides of the ball, chewing up a lot of clock.
Yep.
So give me the under 42 and a half. This kind of just seems like a 17, 15, 14 sort of game for me.
I can see it.
Yeah.
You can get 42 and a half. So I know I'm the shopper of the two of us here, but FanDuel MGM very widely out there, minus 110s.
And by the way, the Falcons at home, where I thought was going to be a blow-up spot for Bijan Robinson. I know he did score, but they only put up 21 points against the Texans.
Yeah, not great.
Week.
They didn't go great.
Yeah, that's not a good run defense at all. I don't know. This screams under to me.
Yeah, I lean Commanders here, actually. I think they're going to win this game outright. I know the Falcons were one of my plays last week.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I did bet it, but I did not. It was not one on my card. They did win the game.
Yeah.
They are a good home team. We've talked about Desmond Ridder at home. Well, I think it's a good bounce back spot for Washington. They got blown out by Chicago at home. They get the extra rest. Got to win this game. I think they play better. I think they keep it within the 2.5. I think they have a chance to outright win. I do lean to the under as well at 42.5.
Yeah, no, I like the Commanders side as well there, especially indoors too. But yeah, again, my 42.5. Play the under on that one. Saints on the road in Houston. Houston 1.5 point dogs. Saints coming off a massive win against the worst team of the league in the Patriots. 42 point total here. I have a play on this one as well.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
I think you know what it is.
I'm sure I do.
42.5. Under. Another 42.5.
There it is.
Under.
All right.
I'm just riding the streak of the Saints going under. I mean it's easy money so far this year.
Free money so far.
Why not continue playing it? Saints have gone under in 14 of their last 15 games. On top of that, Texans will likely be without their nice rookie wideout with Tank Dell. Left the game in the second half of last week with a concussion, correct?
Correct.
Nico Collins, he's going to see Marshawn Lattimore coverage. And just, overall, I know that the Texans got back some help with Laramie Tunsil and another piece on that offensive line there. But good luck running the ball against that Saints front.
Yep.
Pats could not do that at all last week. And overall, the Saints defense, they rank 5th against opposing running backs in the NFL. And from a points perspective, we still have questions about Derek Carr's effectiveness with that shoulder and his AC joint there. Chris Olave, and I think this speaks more to Carr's effectiveness, has not really had any good production over the past couple of games there. Again, this seems like a very low scoring game. Under 42.5 for me. Another like.
Yeah, no play here. Is strong lean to the Texans side here, though. I think they're going to win this game outright. It's a good bounce back spot for them. Coming off a tough loss in Atlanta, but played well. Yeah. Played well in the game. The defense of the Texans, you just mentioned it, playing well under D'Amico Ryans. He's got the boys playing defense.
Pretty good.
They're getting a lot of prep. They're getting a lot of attention to the offense with CJ Stroud and how well he's played.
Yeah.
I just think the Saints last week coming in to New England, 34-0. It's just like this is the time I want to fade them right now because I don't think they're as good as that score showed. I think that was more about the Patriots than it was anything to do with the Saints personally. I think Houston's going to bounce back and they're going to win this game, but no official play for me. But that's the side I'd be on.
A couple other things for the lean. I'm with you on the Texans. A couple other factors. Texans, they're going to be home, obviously, but they're also heading into their bye week, so you got to like that. And the Saints have Thursday Night Football coming up next week as well against the Jags, so maybe a nice look-ahead spot there. So it would not shock me at all if the Texans were victorious in that one. So that is my fourth on the slate here. Let's go to the Patriots. The Patriots on the road in Las Vegas. What more can you say about this Patriots team? I mean, now you have talk. Not going to go on a tangent here because you're hearing it everywhere. You know, Bill Belichick's job seems like is in jeopardy with how this team is playing. Embarrassed against the Cowboys. Even worse loss last week home against the Saints. Saints are a good team, but 34-0.
Terrible. We were together watching that game. It was painful.
Watching that, and you saw the pick six. You're like, it's it.
Here we go again.
I know it's
chasing
7-0,
points,
but that was it. That was the game. That was the ball game. First quarter done. This no plays for me. I really want to take the Raiders 3 points here.
Ugh.
Josh McDaniels going against his old team. There was 54 points scored between the two teams here last year as well. If I had to lean, I'd probably play the under on this one. This has to be a spot where the Pats show some sort of progress here, and you see in reports that they're going to simplify their offense too. Maybe they just pound the run nonstop and don't even let Mac throw it all.
Wasn't that last week though? This was supposed to be last week too. They were supposed to show up and win.
I think that was the wrong defense to go up against them and try and run the ball and establish the run.
Yes. They have to come out and just run 20 straight times.
But good luck. And I know it's the Raiders and they're not a good team.
Got to mix and match in the NFL.
But with this offensive line with the Patriots, it's just a complete mess.
Yeah.
Pats and Raiders, they combined to go under in 8 of their last 10 games this season. Offensives, they ranked 25th and 28th in yards per play. And again, I mentioned 54 points combined in their matchup last year in Vegas with that weird lateral play with Jacoby Myers.
Oh.
I'm playing anything over with Jacoby Myers in terms of his props. I have not seen anything or checked at least. Jacoby Myers going against his old team and what was a kind of a dicey free agent situation there. It seemed like there's some real tension with the Belichick negotiation there with Myers.
Well, it didn't work out for New England with Juju.
No, it's a horrendous decision, it seems like. And on top of that, you have Devontae Adams, who's battling a shoulder injury. And I think he'll play, but there's still not 100% certain he's going to play.
Yeah.
No plays for me on this one. I would lean the Raiders and I would lean the under there.
This game should be flexed to 3 a.m.
That's
and
the
put
other
on
thing.
QVC.
We couldn't
or
do
channel
better
that I don't know.
This is a Nance and Romo game.
This is... Ugh,
it's probably because of last year.
Yeah, but no. There's good storylines here, right? This feels could be a nail in the coffin type game for the Pats.
This is going to be a punt-heavy game, right? It's going to be a complete snooze fest.
I look at this Garoppolo...
Yeah, that's
Josh McDaniels.
They're all good storylines.
Jacoby Myers, but the game's going to suck.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with it.
All good storylines, you're going to get a 20-17 game.
I can't figure out what Vegas is anyways. Of all teams I've bet on against, I can't figure them out. That's why we say suck off Vegas. You continue to do it again. I have nothing in this game.
Suck off Vegas.
I mean, I wouldn't bet the Pats with your money right now. No interest in this game.
Raiders play Bears next week in Chicago. Some really no angle here on this one. Pats play, who the hell are they play next? The Bills.
Duel.
At home.
Oh, that'll go well.
Oh, boy. This could get ugly quick.
That'll go well.
So if they lose again like they lost to the Saints.
What's that line?
You could see, I don't know.
That's going to be 35.
You could see some movement in the franchise.
Yeah,
for the Patriots.
Don't lose to Josh McDaniels, all I'm going to say.
If you lose, if you put up 3 points or 0 points again.
They have one touchdown in a month.
Yeah.
It was Pharaoh Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, against the Jets, mind you.
Crazy.
All right, so that's going to be a snooze fest if you ask me. Eagles on the road in New York. Speaking of the Jets, I think the Eagles opened up as 7-point favorites here, but now I'm seeing on DraftKings it's 6.5 favoring the Eagles. So a little money coming in on the Jets there. 40.5 point total here. Anything from you on this matchup?
No. Anything under 7, no play. If it went above 7, I'd definitely lean the Jets. Playing well at home. Playing well in general. I think they have their identity now. They run the ball. Breece Hall looked great last week. Again, Broncos. Yeah. We pump the brakes. But Zach Wilson, again, looked formidable outside of that last drive before the half where he just ran out of time when they passed on 3 points, apparently, because he was lollygagging to get back to the line of scrimmage before he had to spike the ball and ran out of time. But the Jets at home, I think they keep this close. I still think Philly's a little overrated, but I'm done fading them for the time being because they cost me a nice little chunk of change last week.
Jets, they are 4-8 against the spread under Coach Saleh, and the Eagles, they are 3-0 against the spread on the road. Very curious to see what this Eagles defense does to one Zach Wilson, who has looked good. He has looked good the past 2 games, but let's see what he does against a legit defense. He played against a shit Broncos team last week, so I'm very curious to see what he does in front of the home crowd too against this Eagles defense. So no plays for me on that one. Would lean Eagles in that one. How's that tequila looking?
Oh, very good. Very good. We're going to stop and get some of this right after. Yeah. As soon as they open. Can't do it before they open. It's illegal.
That's looking good.
Yeah.
All right. Lions going on the road to Tampa. Tampa coming off of a bye week here. This line has not moved whatsoever. We have the Lions favored by 42 points overall. The Lions, they are 13-2 against the spread in their last 15 games, and they've only been a road favorite twice since 2021. I was very close to playing the Lions on this one. I don't think there's enough respect for this. I think this maybe speaks to the status of Amon-Ra St. Brown, who did not play last week. And then the Bucs coming off a bye, like I mentioned. So anything for you in this one?
Yep. I do like the Lions. I did bet this game. I am playing it -3. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to play. And if he doesn't, I don't care. But I would prefer him in there because I think he's awesome. But I really think he could have played last week. I think
Cooper Kupp.
I think when you look at the team they were playing last week against Carolina, they weren't going to force him back. They were like, we don't need you. Jameer Gibbs, we don't need you. I think you'll see both of them back this week. And if not, well, I still like the Lions. I think Tampa's overrated. I really do. I mean, their wins are against Minnesota, the Bears, the Saints. When Derek Carr didn't practice all week, he comes back. All of a sudden, they say he's playing Sunday morning. He looked absolutely horrendous. On the flip side, the Lions are not overrated. In fact, they're good on offense, and much to my surprise, they are very good on defense. Third in the league against the run, allowing just 68 yards a game. They are 17th against the pass. I think that has to do with, they're up in these games and teams are throwing on them a little bit in the second half. But I don't think Tampa's good enough to keep throwing on them. They're middle of the pack, throwing for 214 yards a game with Baker Mayfield. I just don't think he's good enough to keep up in a game that I think could end up in a sneaky shootout. I know both defenses are good, but I have no problem with laying 3 here with the Lions. I think their offense is going to roll in this game. I think Tampa's defense, statistically, nice, but there's holes there. They're still banged up at cornerback. And this matchup for the Lions, they're not getting enough respect. This is like the old Lions line, I would expect this line to be 6. That's what I make the game. And I'm taking the field goal there.
It's also worth noting that even with the Bucs coming off a bye, Mike Evans did not practice.
Yeah, he's not practicing. That's the other thing to note.
Hamstring injury, so Friday is going to be a crucial day for Mike Evans there.
Even if he plays, the hamstring injuries, man, that's high risk.
I mean, you might see some movement favoring the Lions there if Mike Evans is inactive. I could totally see this movement of 3.5, 4 on that news, but maybe not. Maybe if Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play, maybe it doesn't move at all. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Lean the Lions on that one. Cardinals on the road in LA. This was very close to a like for me for the Rams. However, I am staying away from that.
Yep.
Let me see here. The Rams there 10-2-1 against the spread in their last 13 games versus the Cardinals. And coming off a loss, who the Rams lost last week against the Eagles, they have covered in 63% of the games under Coach McVay here. 7-point favorites here for the Rams. 49 points. 49 points for that one.
Yeah.
Very interesting on that one for the point total there. Anything for you on this?
Very close to the Rams. Once it got to 7, I missed the 6 and 6.5 earlier in the week, and regretful there. Not at a place now that I want it, but I don't think the Cardinals will win this game. In fact, still may end up playing it. Want to see if it waits to come
last week.
Yeah,
I know that the box score said differently, but they competed with the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just a historical thing. The Rams just kind of own Arizona. Yeah.
This is a classic in terms of like daily fantasy, by the way.
Yes,
this is a classic.
Stack everything.
Stack Stafford, stack Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, you could stack.
They're not stopping the Rams offense in this game. I think like so this is very strong to being my fifth like with Houston and the other way that I went. No, they're just two that I was kind of debating back and forth. Yeah. I went a different way. I'm going against the grain. Yeah. You'll find out shortly. But I do like the Rams in this game. Heavy lean, strong lean. We might
have another double leg coming up.
Maybe.
Did you catch that?
Maybe.
Did you catch that? All right. We have 2 games left. Sunday Night Football. Oh, God. Yeah. This is going to be a ratings disaster for the NFL. Holy crap. We have the Giants.
Holy gross.
Man, there's a lot of candidates for worst team in the league, honestly.
There sure is.
Giants, they're going to Buffalo to get their absolute
that'll be fun
asses kicked
with Tyrod Taylor.
Bills 14.5 points favorites here, 44.5 point total. Giants offensive line is in shambles. We don't know the status of Saquon Barkley. Even if Barkley plays,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This is just a lost team. I like the narrative. Brian Daboll going against his old team here, or at least as a coordinator.
Like it better if he was playing.
Yeah, maybe
they're so bad.
Offensive line.
The Giants are so bad.
Holy crap, they're bad. They're so bad. And Wan'Dale Robinson popped up in the injury report, so I don't know what his status is going to be. But I mean, do we have to spend any time on this?
No Daniel Jones. No Andrew Thomas.
Oh, no, Daniel Jones didn't play either.
In practice.
Excuse me.
He's not going to play, I don't think. We're going to see Tyrod Taylor on Sunday Night Football.
Giants have lost 5 of their last 6 games by 18 or more points.
Yeah, well, add another one to it. Buffalo's going to roll.
Why is this only 14.5? I'm serious.
I don't know. I haven't played it yet, but feels like I'll be on that side.
That's going to be a disaster. Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have to spend much time on that one. All right, final like from me.
Final like for me. I think we're going to be head-to-head on this.
Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Cowboys, 2-point favorites, 50.5 point total here.
Let's hear it, Tuck. Your handicap first.
Give me the Cowboys.
All right, let's hear it.
2 points here. Cowboys, as we all know, mentioned earlier, they got absolutely smoked by the Niners on national TV. Look at the trend on their schedule, by the way, so far this season. Week 1, 40-0 win. Week 2, 30-10 win. Week 3, lost to the Cardinals, 28-16. Week 4, smoke show, 38-3 over the Patriots. Last week, 42-0 or 42-10 loss by the Niners. I think this is a good bounce back spot for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Chargers, they're coming off a bye. I still do not trust Coach Brandon Staley whatsoever. I could totally see him not having his team prepared. I know they're getting Austin Eckler back, but you kind of question, is he going to be on any sort of a pitch count? We don't know. Dallas defense is still legit. I wonder if Justin Herbert, it seemed like did he break or fracture
his finger
on his non-throwing
hand,
middle finger, but still could be a factor. Could be a factor with being comfortable in the pocket against that Dallas pass rush there. I could see Herbert being a little uneasy there, especially coming off a bye there. And by the way, Cowboys next week, they go on a bye. So I think they're going to rebound, go out with a bang, go out on a positive note, and get the win, get out of LA, win. And, I know there's this whole narrative with Kellen Moore going against his old team, with the Cowboys here being a coordinator with the Chargers now. And I might add, the Cowboys, they are 10-1 against the spread following a loss since 2021. So give me the Cowboys -2.
All right, buddy. I'm against you.
Bastard.
I'm taking the Chargers plus 2.5 at home for whatever that home is. It'll be a Dallas. We'll be a Dallas crowd. Yep, you can get an MGM. You can take the 2. This is why we shop. Okay. 2 is widely available at DraftKings.
Because you've been an anti-Chargers guy.
This is actually kind of against me, against what I normally do. But I have to. It's just a unique scenario for me. This is such hangover for Dallas. They get so up. And they've been talking about the 49ers, how they're going to beat them, and this is the year they got to beat us, all this stuff. And they got absolutely undressed on national television. And quite honestly, they just got exposed. Let's go back to last week when I was giving you my best bet being the Niners, not a homer, but a best bet. Dallas beat Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. They lost to Josh Dobbs. We gave them a pass because Diggs got hurt late in the week, but then they lost to Big Cock Brock. And sorry, pal, their defense is overrated. I've seen enough of this. They're good pass rush.
Endowed?
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. Got to be. I mean, the guy looks like he's going to teach social studies, and he should win the MVP of the league. But no one wants to give him the credit. We were starting to get there. People are starting to realize he's good. We could talk about that at another time. Yeah. But, look, teams after playing the 49ers going back to last year, 2-19 straight up.
Okay.
4-15-2 against the spread, again, start of last year. And that is just about the 49ers. They play you physical. They're a mental, they put you in a mental pretzel with that offense.
About the Niners here.
Yeah, but it's a factor. But it's a factor for Dallas. This is all where they are.
Yeah.
Because you want to hear something about Dallas? Micah Parsons is doing a podcast like us. And he's sitting there talking about how he's upset that George Kittle's wearing a "fuck Dallas" shirt. And get on the field, but get on the field and do something. You had one quarterback pressure. You were totally neutralized. And here's where it comes in. You mentioned Kellen Moore. Well, where is the Cowboys' strength? It's definitely their pass rush. Mm-hmm. Kellen Moore knows that, right? So he's going to strive up a game plan to get the ball out. Oh, the Chargers, they're just the third fastest team in the league and getting the ball out of their hands. Yep. Justin Herbert gets the ball out very fast. That will be a factor. I think that helps to try and exploit the defense. We got Justin Herbert coming off a bye along with Eckler coming back. You mentioned those things. I just think there's too many weapons. Who's covering Keenan Allen? They're just going to run all over the place. I cannot figure out for the life of me what Dallas is. I wanted to bet Dallas this week coming off the 42-10 to loss, but I just can't get there. The one concern I do have, as you mentioned, is Brandon Staley. The guy, you're just going to sit there when you bet the Chargers. You're just sitting there waiting for them to do something wrong,
which
you don't want to do. 100%. He did it twice in a row where he's gone for it inside his own 30. With that said, I can't trust Dak Prescott. I know it's not a true road game. It is a road game. I can't trust Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's good either. Yep. So in a matchup of terrible coaches on Monday Night Football, give me the dog, the home dog. I'll take the Chargers with 2.5.
This is our first official going against each other here.
Yep.
On Monday Night Football, nonetheless.
This is my fifth like, by the way.
That was also my fifth like.
All right, so we're debating on the end of the likes here, the bottom of the barrel likes.
All right, well, you're wrong.
All right, buddy. We'll see about that.
All right, so let's just recap real quick our picks. First like for me, we have the Commanders at Falcons under 42.5. Colts at Jaguars +4, double like for you and I. Panthers at Dolphins, best bet for me. Dolphins 13.5. Saints at Texans under 42.5 for me. And the final like was Cowboys 2 points for that one. And just run through yours real quick.
Yep. Best bet Ravens -4 over in London. We also like the Colts +4.5, as you mentioned. Cincy -2.5. Detroit -3. The Chargers +2.5. Monday Night Football. That'll do it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. You can follow us on Twitter at Better In Laws. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Better In Laws.
Follow, subscribe.
Follow. Subscribe. On Instagram. Give us 5 stars on the podcast to help us out here. And if you like it, you should give us 5 stars anyways.
Yeah, do that.
I wish we could do the podcast here every week because that tequila looks amazing.
It's awesome.
And I love this place. This is my pregame spot.
For the Celtics.
Bruins. And Bruins, if you will.
It's a great spot.
Great underrated spot
come
here,
down.
guys.
If you're in Boston area, come down. It's a great spot.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. I'm Tuck Silva. He's Matt Prisco. Thank you to Hurley, our producer. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.